Hello everyone, this is Professor Robert Solis. Welcome to this video lesson. We're going to be talking about this lab that uses the while statement. The while statement is a repetition statement, and we're going to use it to ask the user how many numbers they want displayed, how many even numbers they want displayed, and then we're going to draw those number of even numbers, assuming that 0 is the first even number. I know that not all mathematicians agree that 0 is the first even number. Let's just say we're starting from 0 and we're going to go up from there. So since the user entered 5 in this particular example, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 is going to be displayed. Here's an idea of what the graphical user interface is supposed to look like, and that's what the output is supposed to look like. There are some requirements in terms of what the text box, button, label is supposed to look like, and then you're also supposed to create some variables inside of the button click event, making sure that you declare these various integers that are responsible for the user number, what the current even number is, the counter, because we're going to be going through a loop, and an output string that will display the appropriate even numbers. So let me switch back over here to Visual Studio, and here's what the graphical user interface looks like. Again, you'll see over here from the Properties panel that I've already created the name property for this text box. It's going to be txtuser_num. For the button, it's going to be btn display even integers, and for the label, it's going to be lbl result. Let me go ahead and double click on the button, and that'll take us to the code area. So inside of the button's click event, I have some declarations. Namely, I have the user number that I want to obtain from the text box. I start off with the first even number equal to 0. I'm going to have a counter so that I can go through my while loop statement over and over and over again a certain number of times. And then I have an output variable that's a string. I set it equal to nothing at first, or I assign nothing to it. And then this is going to continue to grow as I loop over and over and over again. So now we're ready to obtain the user input, and so that means that we're going to, from the text box, get the text property, convert that into a 32-bit integer, and then assign that to user num. So now I have whatever the user number is, and now I want to loop a certain number of times, however many even numbers the user wants to see. So what I'll do is this. I'll say, okay, whatever the old output is, let's concatenate that with a space, and we're going to concatenate that with whatever the current even number is. Well, as you can see here, even number is initially 0, so this new updated output will be space and then a 0. All right, let's get ready for the next even number. Well, that's simply going to be taking whatever the current even number is and just adding 2 to it. So if it's 0, 0 plus 2 is 2, so even number is now 2. We've already gone around the track, the metaphoric track, one time, so I need to increment my lap counter, or just my counter, and that's going to be incrementing it by 1. So counter was 0, now it's going to be 1. All right, so we ask the question, is the counter less than the user number? Because if the user wants 5 numbers, well, then this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 would be not less than 5, I should say, because let's say the user number is 5. So 5 is not less than 5. So that'll be 0 through 4, which I'm holding up 5 fingers up in the air right now. Right? That means we were going to go through this loop 5 times. So we keep on doing that over and over again. The output currently has a space and a 0. Now it's going to be concatenated with a space and a 2. And then next time it's going to have a 0 space, 2 space, and then it's going to be concatenated with a 4, and so forth and so on. So we keep on going around and around and around, repeating this loop over and over and over again as long as the counter is less than the user number. And then when we're done, we take that output, which is constantly being concatenated or appended, and then we send it out to the text property of our label. So I were to click Start, and let's say I enter the number 5. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now, one thing that I think you should do is to stop the program by placing a break right here. And let's run the program, and then you can step by step see what it looks like. So let's say that we want to go through 5 iterations. And I click the Display Even Number button. All right, so at this point you see over here that the counter is 0, and the user num, that's 5. All right, so let me go ahead and step over. So now we go into the while loop. Currently output is nothing, but after this execution of this statement, now you can see there's a space and a 0. All right, even number, which is currently 0, that's about to be incremented by 2. So if I click this, now it's 2. The counter, which is 0, is now about to be incremented by 1. And so that's taking place right now, and we go back to the beginning of the loop and we ask the question, are we going to do this again? Well, as long as the counter, which is 1, is less than the user number, which is 5, since that's true, yeah, we're going to do this again. So I step over. The output is this. Now, after I execute this statement over here, you'll see that the output is now space 0, space 2. The even number was 2, and now after this statement, it's going to be 4. So here it is. The counter, which is currently 1, is about to be incremented by 1. So if I step over, now it's 2. And so then we go back to the beginning of the while statement and ask, shall we do this again? Well, if the counter, which is 2, is less than 5, yeah. And so forth and so on. We keep on doing this over and over and over again. All right, how about I execute this code? Let me right-click, and we keep on executing it, and then we're going to stop at this particular location. So as I look over here, let's see, where is that? Add watch. There it is, run to cursor. So I'm going to run to wherever this cursor is. So let me actually go over here, right-click, and I'll say run to cursor. Actually, let me take off this break first because it's stopping it. And then I go over here, right-click, and we'll say run to cursor. All right, so now we are about to execute this statement. Currently, as you can see here on the label, there's nothing in there. But we are about to assign output, which is space 0, space 2, space 4, space 6, space 8. And we're about to put that into here. So now from here, I'm just going to go ahead and click continue. And then as you can see, it displays it to this particular label. And that's it. All right, so this is Professor Robert Solis. I hope this video lesson was helpful. Have a good day. See you next time.